Well, everyone else is asleep. I'm still awake, so time to make noise. Loud Squad. Please be advised the following discussion, content, and opinions may appear or come across to certain people as offensive or controversial. Viewers' discretion is advised. So there is a canvas of the LGBTQ community in Zimbabwe. There has been a canvas of homosexuality in the country. I'm pretty sure you can see it everywhere now on your social medias and on your day-to-day life, I think, when you bump into people. This is not a video to promote homosexuality in the country or to bash. It's a video to simply educate and inform, that, yeah, this is what's happening in the country and this is also what's happening around that whole space. So with that said, it is important to understand that sodomy in Zimbabwe is classified as unlawful sexual conduct and defined in the Criminal Code Act, Chapter 9 to 23, as either anal sexual intercourse or indecent act between consenting adults. And then Chapter 2, Section 26 and 78 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe describes the definition and laws around marriage and strictly prohibits same-sex marriages in the country. So yeah, if you're a homosexual, if you're gay or a lesbian in the country, you will not be protected by the law. In fact, you'll probably be arrested.
The president of Zimbabwe, Emerson Mnangagwa, says he will not campaign to make gay marriage legal, but he is promising to allow independent observers to monitor Zimbabwe's next election. He spoke with Richard Quest at Davos.
I know you're busy with time, and I have a couple of areas I just need to dwell on. On the question of human rights, on the question, for example, of same-sex rights, never mind same-sex marriage or anything like that that might be in the future, for want of a better word, gay rights, the overturning of laws against homosexuality. Can you promise me today that you will do that?
I mean, the audacity to ask the president of Zimbabwe to make a promise to him if he's going to allow same-sex marriages or same-sex rights into the Constitution of Zimbabwe. These human rights standards are now just biased.
I'm a constitutionalist. The current provision in the Constitution forbids same-sex marriages and uphold that until that issue in our country is not an issue of the political party.
Not same-sex marriage. I'm talking about same-sex relationships. Never mind, we can put marriage to something. I'm talking about same sexual activity.
In our current constitution, it is banned.
Are you going to lead a campaign?
No, I will not lead a campaign.
Why not?
Those people who want that are the people who must canvass for such things, so that if they're able to win majority in amending the Constitution, they would amend it. But it's not my duty on that issue to say I want to campaign for this. No.
Of course it is with respect, Mr. President, of course it's your duty. It's your duty to uphold human rights as recognized by the United Nations.
I understand he's homosexual as well. He's into men. But this is not the majority desire in the country. Yes, there is a progressing minority in the country that's homosexual, but that is not the majority perspective. And indeed, it's not the president's duty to campaign for the LGBTQ rights or gay rights.
And as
It is my duty. It's my duty to obey my constitution.
Correct.
I would not be persuaded to violate my constitution. Currently, my constitution says what I have said, but the constitution does not forbid people with different opinions. They must canvass for the opinions which they have.
Yes, people with different opinions, they can canvass. But the Constitution says what? The president is a constitutionalist. And to top it off, Zimbabwe is a religious country. We have the Muslim, We have the Christianity faith in Zimbabwe. Those are the dominant religious faiths in Zimbabwe. And also the apostolic faith, the Mapostories. Those guys, those three religions are dominant in Zimbabwe, and they are quite against homosexuality. So it's not a majority thing, it's a minority thing, and a tourist thing or globalization thing.
Vasikana vaitondida because ndiri mudiko ndairatidzikowo saka mabhebhe aingotoda tadiwa nemukomana.
Alright. Yokutanga nhengo yakatosimuka here yakapinda mainofanira kupinda.
Asi kuti
makatorasa urume.
hatina kwatakamboenda nonga takangoita iminute chete nomba yatoneta.
Isina kurasa urume.
Nomba zvatopero zvakadaro.
Iye akati kudii?
Akamba asongondiramba ari ndopa atongoti handikwanise zvaunoda handizvikwanise because handingati ndine mukomana. Because ndechitasiro kuti undide, ndechitasiro kupohwo rudo. Chaitika ndechekuti chero tikapinda muromandi. Inini kubatana kwateichiita. Inde ndakutotasira kuti dai ndabatwa ndirini.
Alright.
So you're gonna have people like this, not quite sure how their story can be told or how they're gonna tell their story. Perhaps leaving out some details of male rape or anything like that. But apparently there are guys that identify themselves as homosexual, as feminine. You know, they've been feminine since they were young, and they've had feelings or attraction for men for the same sex.
Masikiro ameno tingati masikiro amakaita. Alright. Ngatishiye padire kuti imimi muchiiswe. Imimi amuna nhengo yemunhukadzi. Munozvifambisa sei?
Right. Kana tichitaura kuti varume kana vachidanana vari vachise varume vese.
Exactly.
Isusu slogan yedu yatoshandisa inonzi sim to.
Right, magona.
Ndo yatoshandisa.
Fuck. And you know, the interview on the Chibanda media is a crazy guy, this guy. I mean, his questions are just uncensored. It makes the program quite interesting.
Let's go to the Old Testament. He who created them in the beginning created male and female. And this is not exclusive to human beings, to all animals. And principally, this is what brings perpetuity. That's why in theological terms, we call it procreation.
Yes.
Because parents create together with God. Therefore, the process of bearing children is a sacred process.
That's deep.
That is bringing people and perpetuating creation of God.
Yes, as I said, Zimbabwe is a mostly religious country. You know, Christianity and the apostolic faith being mostly dominant. So this is the perspective of most conservatives in Zimbabwe. When it comes to homosexuality, when it comes to marriage, they come with the religious aspect and they come with the traditional aspect. That's the majority in Zimbabwe. But I think that it's just good to respect the nucleus family. You know, I think that it's good to respect that. If you want to be homosexual or in that community, do not bring the whole aspect of marriage into it. Let's respect that's a covenant. And it's a covenant to create life, to populate. Recreation is according to God. Go forth and spread, right? So let's respect that and keep it like that. And at the same time, it protects kids. It protects children. You know, there are too many stories in the US there where gay couples have been arrested for molesting and children, the adopted children, for sex.
And you need to know, Jesus said something that people were a bit angry. He said there is no marriage in heaven. Why? Because there is no procreation in heaven. Because the population that will inhabit heaven is created here on earth.
Yes.
You and me are the citizens of heaven. And we are created here on earth. There will not be created other people to inhabit heaven. So the process of creation is perpetuated through marriage.
So that's the thing. I think it's good to respect marriage. If you want to be homosexual and you want to be in this community, I don't think you should now have the desire to want to have kids or adopt children. I don't know, it's very controversial because some gay couples actually do take care of kids without molesting them or anything. They give them a good home. And then some do the opposite. Some now said, hey, you know what, I'm going to groom you. They have a personal sex slave that they can watch grow.
It is not God's design.
Yeah.
Granted, there could be people who might have some disabilities.
Yes.
It's possible that, because of certain things that we are now eating and all that, you can have probably a mistake where a person have 2 organs. Or those are misnomers.
Yes.
But that's not the norm.
So this is a podcast on the DJ Ola podcast. It was a conversation between DJ Ola and Reverend Forbes. He was a previous high position holder of the United Methodist Church. So here they were talking about the book of the 10 Commandments, the book of principles, not 10 Commandments, but the book of discipline. Yeah, he was talking about how there's language redacted or language manipulated to suit an agenda and what. It's quite an interesting watch. So go and watch it.
Alright, ameticonsider udzokera kendipedzisa hangu nyaya yangu ndobva
apa tena ustombobada
handisi kuda because environment ipapo chandikuuze nje kuti pandichadzoka ndichangonzora kuti chimburi unoita kana kosi yegore alright ndopchengwe gore futi
obva wachika futi mari yacho obva wadzoka futi mastreets
sparks tinoda ngoti mari ikangoiswa kumusic inoona kuti tira zvakanaka rimwe day ndiri mustreet pakauya mumwe mukomana mene ndingati murume revanti mukomana handinyatsonzwisisa mva nditiko mufana so ndakagara ndichinyora so ndichitonyora bhuku rangu ndobva saka akatanga apfuura mva azouya futi kechitumva ati ndambokuona kuti panapa zvese bhoere mandati achimaya zvese zvisibo mandatomuexplainera nyaya yangu chichichi mba nditi hachi mba ndipa $1 nedrink ndati hachi thanks saka ndichida kupinda mumota throw him around ndakaita zvivindi zveipapo pandapinda mumota saka iye aitotaura nyaya dzake nchitoderawo zvine confidence mona but mondibvunza zvakasaka iwe wakwira mumota yestranger hautyere ndikati hachi ndimba ndinoti hapana pareke ndingoitonge munhu asiri kukwata tanga pane zvoda kutoitika kana kuti munhu asi kukwata.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, sometimes you don't have to be brave. I mean, for what? You're being brave for what exactly? And it's not being brave. Most of you are just curious to see what can you get out of this. How much can you get out of a situation or out of an encounter? Because how are you brave to just get into a stranger's car? This dude's car was roaming for some time, then came back the second time, and is now checking for you. Don't be that brave, dude.
Patenda pa drive through pa Highlands chikenini palotenga 2 pisa inini mnatanga kutodya ne confidence kuti vozana yangu yanga kuti echirova manje munhu yakutonitengera futi zvinhu apa ndimuziye chi danasa anombotaura zita rake mnatorova pise kuti anga mbayatopera but apaita tinenge kuti echipera manje bozi nenga wakuita chase
wakutya
ndikati zvimwe ndozodya zvangu bozi chi hatina chikafu chokudya mangwana mwana pane kwakaitonga kunodzika kunenge kuchisipiti so mbatanga kuti zvikanzi hachi inini am gay ndatanga kugaya kuti saka kana yoti ndiri gay ndarova chikafu chake ndiri mumota make apa ndatatoku amene kuseri mwe kuzasi dzimba dzekuseri kwekuchisipiti kuti hamunozoti kwekwe kuri secluded kazvoti richitikona imwe imba imwe inenge ruko
like really, bro, like ish, you know, fine, you ate the chicken in, you drank the Fun and Fresh, you drank the Minute Maid. Yo, there was no transaction, there was no conversation, there was no deal. This dude bought you food for your time, all right? Anyone who might get caught up in that situation, and then you feel like, okay, now you have to give in to this person's desires or lust. Nah, you did not have that conversation. All right, it was already dumb enough to get into the car. Okay, it was even dumber to start accepting stuff and chowing the food that this dude got for you.
saka wakaita confidence ei pana munhu gay
kana nguva iyo yasvika minoti zvimwe zvinhu zvine zvangouya zvega zvaunenge wakutongoita ipapo mino chini chakuti mandatongotora ita hapo saka kana zvamuri gay bhebhi renyu riri kupi kana zvikanzi handina bhebhi because ini like iye aiti hanzi ndiri hanzi pane inonzi top neinonzi bottom here inonzi ndoonoitwa bhebhi kaivapo mona since muri gay ne muri kufamba mega mona zvikanzi hachi handisi murelationship ndatangogea kuti hakuti kuti handisi murelationship apa inini nditori mota imomo and relationship yangu yakatopera 3 years ago saka for the past 3 years ndandisimbori murelationship pandati abo mba nditi inini ndini hanzi ndiri amene mukadzi wekumagei ikokwe
whatever, because clearly this dude is not telling us the whole story. I don't trust him. I feel like he stayed in that car for too long and he passed through the red flags like it was a green light, you know. So I don't trust him. But anyways, I'm saying like you don't have to give in to sextortion all the time.
ndobandatichi it's okay bo inini hangu inini nditori straight and simke zvikanzi handitoziva zvangu ende ukone wabva wakasika kuzvidefenda nditoziva hangu nditori straight ausimke bandati at least ichi maziya chibo zvikanzi ko ndibvumidzere kuti ndingokupa kana blowjob. So reason why ndiri kutaura every detail ida kuti vamwe vanhu vatodzidza because
mastreets mawana
mawana ndobva ndatanga kugaya manje kuti ndoramba apa ndatorawa pa 2 pieces then ndatorawa imwe piece yapera apa ndiri mota make ndapopuwa $1 nedrink apa pangatenga neimwe fun fresh futi.
You had no conversation. This is not what you're worth. Your penis or your rectum is not worth a fun fresh, a chicken 2 pizza, and a buck. All right.
A lot is going
on. Ndobva aunoti akanoti ndeta se ndavhunduka mbva nditora kune imwe club so iri kuCBT ko inonzi ndema gay chete club yo ndasingatoziva kuti muZimbabwe mune club inonzi ndema gay chete.
Alright.
Ndasvika pemva tangu nditi yo sakwati magay akatowanda muno muZimbabwe muno batango ndondudzwa kuti pana mwana wanotoimba futi vanotopuwa mari nemagay pane zvavanotoitiswa ikoko woita se wopuwa mari.
Alright.
ndatoona chichipepa but inani yangu yange chirunguroti zvatondunza futi kunoko kwakazonditisa rimwe dhiri futi mona.
You know what I don't understand is the fact that he was told that, hey, you know, can I and then he went all the way to the DD party. This dude is not mfano ya sutaura nyaya uyu mfano akavhura hombe nyaya kana unyatsoitaura mfano. But yeah, so that's what happens. Some things are sextortion. Like I'm saying, like people can get raped because they're hungry. Not even raped, like you don't be raped as such. It be consensual, but they don't really want to do it, but they're hungry. So with homosexuality, yeah, we have a lot of guys now turning to that because they can get a quick buck out of that. A lot of dudes have become lazy. You know, they wanna do some butt-to-butt stuff for a couple of bucks. You know, like apparently it pays. It's a business for some people. Apparently it pays. So there's gay dudes by the touchline. For real, like there are a lot of gay dudes by the touchline now. So there's some crazy homosexual stuff going on in Zimbabwe. Some guys have a lot of walking closets. So there are closets walking about there. You know, dudes who are married, people with wives, daughters with wives, you know, CEOs, your manager could be a closet. Right. So as I was saying, this is not to promote homosexuality. It is not to bash those who are of that sexuality. No, it is to bring awareness. It is to educate as well. So men's mental health, you know, with the growing agenda or progressing agenda of the LGBTQ. In fact, not even the progressing, it was even there before its progression. Male rape, that's something that happens. Most of these rapists that rape women they have gone through some sexual experience, some weird or crazy sexual experience that has twisted their minds to become rapists. Or some dudes just grew up watching porn and they got to them to that point. Male rape, these things happen, these things are happening. You know, it's not just men who rape women. There are men who are also raping men, you know, grown men raping grown men. Most of them will not tell you their part. And it's not even just rape. Sometimes it's just flirting, some dude can come and mac on you as a guy in the bathroom, in the toilet. Yeah, I mean, this is some traumatic stuff. And he was brave enough to actually come out and talk on DJ Sparks' podcast here and open up and say his story. He might be lying, but I don't think he's lying, because his facial expressions have some trauma to it as he's telling his story. They're being initiated, and it starts like this. This dude got initiated. He got initiated. If he's going to go and pray, go back home, and go back to school, then yeah, maybe he has changed. But now he's been initiated, and as you heard it from him, there are a lot of gays in the country now. So with that knowledge and with that being said, and with the Constitution, take it and make it into what you will. Yeah, he left out some details. He's not telling us the full truth. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a good night.